When did you get the idea that you would like to be a composer?
I think I always had it, because I was always fiddling around with great concoctions ever since I can remember. In fact, there are more drawers at my home filled with ancient masterpieces, usually of about 1 page duration, planned for 64 and suddenly abandoned at the end of one. I found that this technique wasn't satisfactory, so I moved on to another.
Are they for full orchestra or piano?
They're usually, like a lot of Bach scripts, they're usually for nothing in particular. They usually cannot be reached accessible to 10 fingers, and they can be just attacked as best the floundering hand can.
But actually, you've written one string quartet which has been performed.
Yes.
And what else?
A lot of things which I don't talk about anymore, because I went through a 12-tone period in my late teens and early 20s, and the works of that era, not because they are 12-tone, but simply because I was not particularly convinced with what I did with the medium, are now put into mothballs. The things that I've done in the last few years have been altogether in a rather surprising arch-romantic idiom, very much influenced by people like Bruckner, and most especially, I think, of all by Richard Strauss, who is my great god in the 20th century.
And are you interested in writing for the keyboard or for voice? Or?
Well, I'm writing something for voice with the keyboard, which I'm trying to stop making it sound like a string sextet, because every time I write for the keyboard, my old organist habit of thinking in terms of the cello line or the bass line or the left-hand line in the foot pedals gives me the disconcerting notion that you can really write greater stretches than the hands are able to accomplish, so that I've never been able to write successfully for the piano. I wrote some cadenzas once for the C major Beethoven concerto, which I even recorded with them, and they're fiendishly difficult to play.
Which you use yourself?
Well, I use them myself. I've always hoped that somebody else is going to play them. Nobody has it yet. I'm still waiting.
Do you actually mean to play less and write more?
Oh, yes. Definitely.
When do musical ideas come to you? Do they come suddenly, or do you discover them at the piano, or...?
No, I don't discover them at the piano. I find that the piano leads you astray. The more you fiddle around, the more the fingers give you nauseating ideas of what can sound right, and they're mostly illogical ideas. They're not based upon the real hard facts of life as far as making music is concerned. They're ideas that come too easily or too facile. It's a great joy to sit down after you've written something that you're pleased with and realize it fully on an instrument that you like. You can realize it much more fully, actually, in your imagination, in any case, in your head when you're writing it. But just the fact of hearing it reproduced is a great thrill. But I think it's something to be avoided when one's actually writing. At least for me it is.
26. Now you're ready to hear 5 short piano pieces by Van Gould.